Come on, YouTube. YouTube. There we go, YouTube. So, I first packed up my party with people. Oh, I did want to talk. But people who might have something to say to the gods. Palutena might have to say to Hylia. Durance will say to Magron. He may have something to say to Wallow or Galawain. So we'll keep him along. And what's up with
I didn't
this?
seem ungrateful back there in the battlefield, and you went out of your way.
You had a lot in your mind. Don't worry about it.
Got real close. Didn't expect that. Now, for a second, I thought I was gonna finally see some answers. Foolish, of course. And why should I get answers? There's a world of Aethasians out there who don't know if their god's been blown up. Still, man can't help looking back.
It's alright, yeah, you done plenty.
Guess you'd know that well as anyone.
And there stares off, focusing on some distant thing unseen and unrealized.
I might have turned my back on my god when he needed me. That's all I'll ever know.
What did your bro have to say about that? Well... Yeah, family should take more precedence over gods. Even if Wyden was Aethys, his actions were destructive, that's true. But I don't agree with him wanting to go for the gods in this, but I agree that he shouldn't wait for somebody else to tell you it's right. He should just do what his heart tells him, even if it's something that... He should just go with his heart instead of having to sitting around on his ass regretting what he's done. He should at least go with something he will not regret. So I want to tell him this one. Even if it means he goes for the gods, I want him to believe this. That he should follow his heart.
Guess if I'll never know any better, I may as well pick something I feel good about. The best part of worshipping a dead god is there's no punishments.
Yeah, that's it. You're never going to find out the consequences of your actions properly anyway. You may as well just do what you feel is right.
Something to think about, I guess.
Right, anyway, so we are in Old Song, because this is where the bird guy is supposed to be. I just got to find him. And also, I want to go for... Oh, hello. All these people getting tortured.
I hope our duties won't require us to linger too long.
That's Rumagan's temple. Yeah, so this bird guy is supposed to be somewhere around here. They want you to go capture birds or some shit like that. Do. Hello, child. Check up here. Yes, child, nobody's going to hurt you. Oh. Freebies. Couple hundred copper, right? Who's this?
What brings you here?
I'm known as Delum, chanter of old song. I trust you're enjoying the beauty of this sacred place. Are you a resident entertainer? I sing to entertain old songs visitors, but alas the crowds are thinned into little more than a trickle. The chill wind from Rumagund's temple is driving people away. Now I'll sing but nobody listens. My music is without a purpose. But I know of a solution, a way for me to make my songs warm and passionate, countering Rumagund's incessant chill. All I need is a few rare songbirds. I can eat them and absorb their musical energy. With that kind of musical prowess in my soul, I could sing a song that could bring back the merry crowds. Well, the way to get them to not eat them is to actually agree to help them. So yes, I'll help you acquire the birds. Splendid. For my song to be pitch perfect, I need a tiam, a bird often found throughout twin elms, often in the highest tree nests, but some have been domesticated. Also need a shardwing. They prefer to rest in arden formations, suits their natural camouflage best. And most importantly, if you plan on hitting high notes, I'm going to need a cloud singer. These little warblers can only be found in the highest mountain peaks. Well, so we'll have to go all over town finding these stupid... Oh, there's Redai. How are you, Redai? Sebo! Well, we can look at it when we get back. Sebo! Enough! Boy! I know it's all meant to be in Twin Elms somewhere. Apart from the one that's in Hylia's temple, which is way up high where the dragon was. It's everywhere!
This place is sacred ground, so watch where you step.
No problem. I don't plan on fucking looting the place dry. What's this one? The private that removes their effects. Hey, bless us, duty boy. Shock the shit out of them. Go forward. Me, Palladino, go forward. And I'll take on the Mempugra. In fact, I'll mark it first. And I love you, boy. You can slicken all the fools.
That's not very helpful.
Pugra has appeared in front of him. Ah well, turn on your extra form. Judy boy, cast that there. You take care of that one, and there. Oh, we don't have Kana with us, do we? We need Kana to level up his blade.
What? Sure.
You venture through a doorway into an underground tunnel. A staircase coils upwards, leading to a dim passage. In the upper level, light filters through the collapsed ceiling. A wall of piled stones and rubble is blocked away. Examine the pile of rubble. With your observant eye, the mass looks dangerously unstable. The rock appears to have held together through sheer chance. Moving even one could send the rest tumbling. Leave. That sounds like one of those, if I pull them loose, I am going to suffer for it. But yeah, we need Kana to upgrade his blade. So I have to go back and get him. So I quick save there. Right. Okay, as the debris tumbles down, you lunge through the narrowing gap. However, here VS isn't fast enough to disappear behind the fallen rocks. He emerges from the cloud of dust, hunched over and cradling tender ribs. Bye, Arabius. Oh god, poor Arabius. Light breaks into the tunnel up ahead, growing brighter as you continue. Soon the passage ends, opening up on the high, on the cliffside of Burial Isle. Can I go back through there? Right, okay.
No problem.
Yeah, we need Kana for this bit. Who can get rid of to keep Kana in? Oh, Adea or Alof, because these three are, well, do we need Durance right now? Do we need Durance? Do we need Jury Boy? But that would give us 4 frontliners. So we could replace Palladino with Kana for his now. So we can level up his weapon. Because that is dangerously fucking bad right now, and I really don't want to know how bad it's going to get when I finish leveling it up, but I'm just hoping that there's light at the end of the tunnel and that it'll turn into a good weapon once it's done. It started off as a superb and it ended up as a fucking crap.
You know, Durance, just because you follow the goddess of fire doesn't mean you need to literally consume everything you come across.
The fire is a favor I grant to those I meet. It makes them stronger, or it ends them mercifully if not.
The remaining unemptied beer steins of the Deerwood quake in fear.
Well, we might as well get the one from Hylia's temple first. And there's a part up in Hylia's temple, I might as well grab it first. And then head to Hearthstone. We may as well fucking try and get his done then out of the way. Adra formations though, where would that one be? Or we may as well just go straight to the gods and just fucking listen to their pleas. That way we can get this done, over and done with, and we can take Durance out of the party permanently then. Just fucking get rid of that fucking grumpy old wanker. Yeah, we could do that. We'll go straight to the gods. We'll get rid of Durance, because he's pissing me off being well, at least my frontliners are leading the way instead of fucking the backliners being in the front. It just pisses me off with the AI that they're... Yeah, they never move properly. The frontliners should always be in front, and if the backliners are in the front, they should wait for the frontliners to catch up. Well, let's just check the birds here somewhere. That's an Adra formation, so I may as well just check it, but the one we want is all the way up here. I could have went straight there, couldn't I have? I didn't have to go through the Northfield, I could just click straight in the temple. Well. Remember, this is what this down area is for. There's one in the house in Hearthsong, and the other one I am not too sure of. It's an Old Song or Eldreach. Or it could be Northfield. I'll have to check it up. I can do that in between episodes, just quickly check up so I'm not running around like a madman for fucking episodes trying to find this thing. Not like look up specific location, but a general which map it's in, and then I can know fucking where to look. I know they're all somewhere in Twin Elms. Right. Yeah, one of them is in like Land Far From Home. Oh, poor Ravius, he's got broken ribs. Because he wasn't fast enough, he's seen these boulders coming towards him. Oh. Well, the Court of Ethnic Null doesn't like me very much, but on the other hand, I'm going to kill the head priest anyway, so yeah, they're not going to like me very much. It doesn't matter. You know, it's like Linkin Park says, in the end, nothing really matters. Ooh, lootables. Screw you gods, I'm lootables. And another final journal of Jonas. That's that Ski Knight guy who sacrificed himself to become an effigy. Yeah, let's go see what this has. See this guy sometimes. Gawain, Magran, and Abaddon. Nice. There's Beraf on her own. Skane, Rimagan, and Ondra. Hylia's on her own. What's this one? The piercing ring fills your ears as you near Wild Shrine. There's no other response. Nothing happens when you approach Wodika's shrine. Okay, so Wal and Wodika obviously can't answer because she's currently been removed. Beraf, Hylia, Magran, and Ondra. So let's start up here where we were. Listen to all the gods, please. Oh, I have to read that book, don't I? No, we want Kana, so Sagani, Devil, or Maneha, off you go. That book we just acquired. Right, so to play to Magran, that's that one. Gawain. Who are we praying to here? Rumagand. That's Aelfus, Berath, Hylia, Magran, Abaddon, Book of the Hunt, that's Galawain. Alright. Okay, when my student asks to be taught the way of Galawain, I tell them they have already failed. Does one ask a deer to present itself as dinner? No, of course not. One must outwit, outmaneuver and overpower the deer if one dreams of venison. So it is with a secret god. To ask a question is weakness and idle indecision. To seek answers is to understand, to become one with Galawain. Survival begins with strength from within. So there he's just contradicting himself. To ask questions is weakness, but to seek answers, no, it's the same thing really. Asking questions, seeking answers, that's what asking questions is seeking an answer. Anyway, but I only strike my students when they ask the second stupid question. For all of us begin young and weak. It's a point of fact, not one of shame. An essential tenet to Galawain's teachings. Perseverance and cleverness are prized by Galawain above brute force. A fact my young pups often forget. It is right and proper that the strong lead the weak. And it's equally proper that the strong be continually tested until balance changes. Galawain celebrates the strength of the victor and prowess of the well-fed predator, but above all, the clever hound celebrates the transformative nature of strength. Galawain's great desire for us is that the prey becomes a predator. Mule and babes grow into strong hunters, and the lost find their own enlightenment. The philosophy is best exemplified by the rites of Anam Fafa of Air Glanfath. When one of the Glanfathan spiritual leaders is old and near death, it is customary to enter the woods and confront Galawain's herald. If the secret god finds that Anam Fath's life, deeds, and soul worthy, the awards a quick death and his soul joins Galawain's pack. If deemed unworthy, the Anam Fath is killed and his soul is forced to find his own way to the next life, and his memory erased from the records of the tribe. Survival begins with strength from within, and weak leaders endanger the whole pack. This is Galawain at its purest. Even at the end of life, one must struggle for worthiness, for greatness, just as one must struggle every day to feed his pack. The secret god is easy to understand if one actively engages in the quest for knowledge, but his secrets are self-occluding to those who merely ask. Desire of knowledge without the requisite hunt. My own flesh and blood once asked me, will learn to hunt please Galawain? I told him yes, but Galawain preferred that you hunt to learn. Right. Oh, that was Rumagand. I was meant to be Rumagand. Oops. Well, we just led Galawain, so let's go see Galawain. Oh god, is it Galawain? Abaddon and Magran. Pray to Galawain. Oh, good. You know, before the shrine, survival begins with strength from within. Struggles of fundamental nature, that'll be Magran. A single ocean's sorrow will be, right, all life ends in stillness. Yeah, well, survival begins with strength from within. That sounds like him. The air around you stirs, the gust of warm wind blows around the back of your neck. You catch the faintest smell of wet earth. As you kneel in front of the shrine, you feel yourself pushed forward. You catch yourself on your hands and knees, feeling warm, damp ground beneath them. Looking around, you find yourself crouched in a clearing in the middle of the woods. The smell of dirt hangs heavy in the air. Behind you is a darkened room filled with candlelit shrines. Ahead you hear the howl of some kind of hound. You feel certain this is a vision, but the hairs on the nape of your neck still rise.
Oh, the scent of sweat, fur, loam, leaves, the discordant howls. I believe Galawain's herald approaches.
Howl back at him. I come to seek Galawain's favour. I'm going to howl back at him. The beast bays in response, his voice high and clear. The thick undergrowth shivers with movement. The heavy paws pound the wet grass. You're not certain if the creature is hunting or leading you, but you instinctively give chase. As you tumble through the dew-spackled bushes and clawing brambles, each stride feels longer than the last. You draw lungfuls of crisp, clear air and feel the energy renewed. The rhythm of your stride and the thumping of the beast's paws drive the blood throbbing into your ears. You speed ahead, following the crowd hound's cries, when a split finger pine crashes to the ground in front of you. A massive bear lunges into the gap and roars. It catches sight of you. You turn it and race in the opposite direction, leaping over the fallen tree trunk. Pine cones crunch underfoot. The bear lumbers after you. Its hot breath washes over the back of your neck, filling your nose with the rank odour of slaughter. You see a clearing just past a thicket of broadleaves and sprint towards it. As you break through the foliage, you see a massive lioness curled up in the clearing in front of you. With the last burst of energy, you divert your momentum and hurl yourself into the bushes. Any second now you expect to feel the bear fall upon you, but a furious roar on the other side of the clearing draws your attention. The bear has stopped the tree line. It swipes the empty air with a claw large enough to rend the armour, but does not advance. The lioness, for her part, twists her body into a tight coil. She growls, her ears pressed against her head, but she makes no move to attack the intruder.
That is the third largest bear I've ever seen! What's keeping it from crushing the lioness? There's an unusual stalemate in the air. I can feel that these creatures deeply loathe each other, but they both refuse to strike.
I knew he'd be a good idea to bring along. You back deeper into the foliage, keeping your eyes on two mighty predators. Come on, we're faced worse. As you crawl backwards, the heel of your hand brushes something furred. A warm sigh grazes your cheek. You freeze in place, slowly turning your head to see what waits behind you. Two amber eyes shine in the darkness.
Holy Hound himself! It's not just his herald, it's the Lord of the Hunt! Here!
The Orlan drops to one knee and his hands dart at his pockets and snatch the rusted hound's head icon buried within. The eyes meet your gaze briefly, then turn to stand off in the clearing. The hound behind you yawns, fangs flashing. When you turn back, the lion and the bear have disappeared. In their place is a stone wolf's maw, gaping wide enough to swallow you whole. Beyond is the outline of a temple, towering but indistinct. Blood must feed the maw, watcher. See that a true champion reigns. So Galloway wants me to go deal with that thing in there. Pray to Hylia. What one would Hylia be? Yeah, things to maybe force that's Abaddon. Life and death, death and life, that would be Beraf. That'll be wow, what's an answer without a question? That is Magrin, that is Ondra, that is Remagan, so live every note of life's song. The words seem to ring in the air, your voice rendered melodic and lilting by some unseen art. Oh, and then I just have to pray to Hylia. You kneel. While you pray, you feel space around your body shift and melt, and you find yourself in a vision of the mountaintop temple. A tree grows in the centre of the ancient ruins. Its limbs wrap around the perimeter of the temple, tapering to twigs and branches of all sizes and angles. They seem too long and too numerous to be held up by a mere trunk, but they hold steady in the breeze. A single sparrow lands on the nearest branch and it watches you. Whistle at the bird. You whistle the first tune that pops in your head. The sparrow blinks its beady eyes and hops closer to you along the branch. It bobs its tiny head and opens its beak, and the rich, trilling melody that spills forth is the song of a chorus of birds. This is so much fun! A massive flock descends with a thundering of wings and whooping, screeching, chirping calls. They fill the boughs of the tree by the thousands. Birds of every shape, size and colour nestling next to each other. Paladino sighs heavily. To be honest, I really can't stand birds. A breeze ripples through the air, the limbs sway, creaking with strange, gentle rhythm. A few hundred of the birds flit from their branches, forming a brilliantly variegated flock in front of the tree. As they meet and swoop in unison, you catch a glimpse of someone looking back at you, cloaked by the flurry of feathers.
You journeyed to my temple and found the dragon. Yet instead of driving it off, you allowed it to stay. The songs of my faithful will never again fill the nest. And the beast and her young will slaughter many to feed their hunger.
Are you not goddess of motherhood? The dragon shot shelter for its young.
And even in a creature so fierce you find tenderness. Your long journey has revealed a compassionate and generous heart, Watcher. There is something else I would ask of you.
I'm listening. The birds return to the tree and nestle among their peers. The breeze ripples through the branches again, carrying the goddess's voice.
You must stop Theos, and you must undo the tragedy he has wrought.
Birds all over the tree begin to chirp and sing, and in the rise and fall of their voices, Hylia speaks. Theos acts but is moved by another. The exiled queen whispers in his ear, urges him to rob the living and the unborn of their souls for her benefit, and he is obeyed. She will consume them, grow powerful while 1,000 empty children are born, but there's still time to reverse this tragedy. How can I return things to the way they were? Guide the trapped souls back to the bodies they were stolen from, hollow-born children whose eyes have never seen the sun. Wouldn't that be a tragedy more though, given all the little hollow-born children being chucked down the wells and all that shit? Was it not some fucking mothers that chucked their hollow-born children down wells? Then all the children have been fucking killed already, like the hollow-born children. The one trapped in the fucking chest, and oh my god. Oh god, no, oh, that would be a tragedy. You could restore them, give their families hymns of joy after years of lament. Peace and restoration give purpose to suffering, and there is no meaning, no redemption in pain that does not lead to fulfillment. Symmetry demands that great rejoicing follows suffering such as this. Yeah, I'm not sure it's possible to truly undo the harm Theos has caused. Perhaps the years cannot be forgotten, and for some, perhaps it's already too late, but if you could restore even one soul, kindle one spark of life, raise one voice in joy, it would be worth it. There's another side to this. You've seen the consequences of the souls disjointed from its own cycle. Could these children ever truly return? No, I think it would be better to allow these souls to find new lives, to be honest with you. How can they continue to not, when they have not fully lived this life? To pass them along to another now is cutting a stanza from a poem, a verse from a song. Okay.
When you reach the burial isle, you will find souls there that I have granted reprieve for their sins. I give these to you, for only they can bear you to safety on your journey down. And when you face Theos and the rotting fruits of his endeavors,
that locked me out of the other ones. I'm pretty sure you can do all of them.
Conversation we have had. In that moment, you will have power rivaling a god's, and after it, you will live in the world that you have chosen. Choose restoration, Watcher.
Alright,
Return
okay, yeah.
the souls to the bodies they were stolen from. Swear to me that you will do this, and I shall give you power to make even Woodica quake. I can be merciful and terrible, Watcher.
I'll hear what the other gods have to say first.
Wait. I'm not done with you.
Go on, Pallegina! Who is this that speaks in anger? You owe Pallegina some answers, actually, yes. Questions flutter and circle in her mind. Let her ask what she will.
It's not often that any of our kind get the chance to speak to their... What should I call you? My mother? Father? Those words seem to fall short and yet be too generous, given our history.
You're angry with me.
What did you expect? Should I be happy? To be like this? To live like this? What kind of creator does this to her creation and abandons it in a world this cruel?
And should I have plucked you from your home, wrapped you in my wings, and brought you to a nest like this one? Some tranquil and harmonious place, far from the war, chants, and battle dances that you love so well? Tell me what you want.
All I've ever wanted from any of your kind is to take some responsibility. Any responsibility for what you've done. To us. To every one of the children you've abandoned.
You're a song of ferocity, and one I love well. I hear your furor and rage in it as music. Your prowess and valour leave a trail like a tapestry upon a world. I would not dampen your song, even with the comfort of my wings.
What does that mean? Come back here!
She's not coming back. There's no shouting after her, Palagino. But I am sorry you didn't get the answers you're looking for, Palagino.
We all deserve better.
Right, so Galloway and Hylia. I've already resolved Hylia's, that's why she asked me that additional question. Peter Rimagand, where all life ends in stillness. You feel a sudden gust of cold air, and as the shrine were burst into wintry life, the frigid wind cuts through you like a sharpened blade. The darkness encroaches upon the edges of your sight. You kneel and close your eyes. As you pray, blackness fades to white, and the howling wind fills your ears. The vision that slowly resolves itself of a broad, frozen plain. You see a procession of elves in the distance, periodically fading into and emerging from the whiteness. You trudge over snowbanks, their heads down against the driving winds. As they trek past you, one man bundled in his furs turns his head. You headed for the Noonfrost and the frost you reached to. Before you can answer, you lumbered ahead. You follow the caravan, and in a couple of minutes you come to a wall of ice. It disappears into the pale emptiness overhead and stretches as far as you can see in either direction. The elves stop in front of a mirror-smooth section that's framed like a temple door. It seems somehow thinner than the rest of the wall. You can't see what's on the other side of but the debilitating cold emanates from within. The elves pull pickaxes and shovels from their sealskin packs and begin hacking at the smooth ice, their implements flying through the air in swift, shining arcs. Though they throw their bodies into labour, not one of them so much as scratches the polished ice. Yet within each blow, something bells in the distance. Edda calls out, "Hey, mate, we'll hold off on that. Forget about the elves, we need to be ready to move. Or fight. Attack the elves! Attack the elves!" You strike the nearest elf and he crumbles into a mound of snow. Fucking hell, you attack another! And she falls just as easily. While you cut down the elves around you, the fellows continue to cleave the ice, working faster. Even their doubled efforts seem futile. When the last of the elves fall, the bellowing finally ceases and the wind dies down. A final gale blows past, scattering the remains of the elves in chaotic fury. You notice a single spiderweb crack in the smooth barrier. It's the only thing that mars the perfect surface of the ice. Whatever's on the other side of the strange doorway, you feel it tugging at you, and only when you look back and see the parallel gashes trailing behind your legs in the snow do you realise how strong the pull is.
My end comes to all things in time. Seal the frost-hewn breach, and instruct the pilgrims in the patience of Rimagand.
Plug the hole with a handful of snow. You fill your hand with snow and shove it in the crack that hardens instantly, and a hoary rime grows over the smooth surface of the frozen doorway, fusing it with the rest of the wall. When you take your hand away, a perfect crystal ice remains in your palm. As you examine the crystal, the vision around you fades, but the unmelting shard of ice remains in your hand. Beraf. Play the Beraf. There's death, life and death, and death and life. There's a rippling shift in the air around you as some unfelt wind has changed. Bringing an unexpected warmth, you feel a peculiar weight of unseen presence and eyes upon you. Dog, what are you doing? Oh god, how long's it's been? 40 minutes? Well, we'll finish praying to the gods then and then we'll end the episode. You kneel and pray to the Beraf. Even while your eyes are closed, you see a road that seems to stretch on forever. The stars wheel overhead in a clockwork rotation of constellations, disappearing over the horizon and to your left, and only rise on your right. Try to make out the details on either side of the road, but your eyes can't seem to focus. One moment you think you see a meadow blanketed with mist, and another sheer canyon, walls. For just an instant, you can even see waves lapping at the edges of the road. Were you to step into the shifting landscape, you feel certain you'd only end up back on the road. You know this is a vision, but the packed dirt feels firm beneath your feet and the night air cool in your face. You're walking, your feet seem to carry you forward of their own accord. Something looms ahead of you. As you get closer, you see two stone figures that look strangely familiar. Benwyn I Anku and Anku I Benwyn, two of the oldest representations of Berath. You remember the door to Cleoban Relag and the two figures carved in the mountain next to it. One looks vaguely male, another looks vaguely female. Only a thin layer of flesh covers their skeletal bodies, which twist to face the doorway between them. The doorway, however, is not what you saw in the ruins. It's a skull, gaping and jawless, and as you look on, its open mouth seems to grow. The arms of two stone sculptures are swept towards the mouth, inviting you in. Enter the skull's mouth. The road continues through the maw to another shifting landscape surrounded by stars. As you pass through it, you see an identical doorway in the distance. A dwarven man stands near it unmoving. You turn and look behind you and see the skull gate you just passed through. An elven woman waits in the road like the dwarfs. She stands still. Approach the dwarven man. You continue the road towards him. He looks up as you approach, but you can't tell if he's looking at you or through you. His face is smooth but flaccid, as if the flesh is detached from the muscle underneath. As you look on, the face begins to change. Wrinkles crack at the corners of his eyes. His mouth sinks, carving deep lines from his nose to the corners of his lips. His jowls sags, and the loose flesh hangs like dough. He raises cupped hands. They're covered in blood. He lifts them to his face and smears himself off from this newly creased forehead to the wattles of his neck. As he massages the dark, sticky fluid into his skin, the flesh wrinkles and disappears. The hanging folds recede, and his flesh tightens as if re-adhering to his skull. He lifts his head, and this time you know he's looking at you. His renewed face looks like a mask, artificially smooth and still. Behind it, his black eyes are two hungry pits yawning like the empty mouths of skulls. Come, make your sacrifice at the Ethnic Knoll. His body blocks the path. He extends a body hand towards you. Kill him! Fucking kill him! You strike out and are surprised at how easily the flesh gives beneath your blow. It rips like dried canvas, following a long seam that begins at his arm and stretches the length of his body. The blood gushes forth in such quantities you can't imagine there's anything else in him. Sure enough, as the dwarf empties the blood, he collapses like a desiccated husk. The blood in the path gleams a 1,000 souls worth of essence. The essence evaporates, trailing shining filaments into the night sky. Only now he's dead can you continue onward. The blood pools around your feet, and you look up to see the elven woman waiting further down the road. Approach the woman. Oh god, I want to kill her too. You start towards her. There's something unnatural the way she stands. She's too still. When you get closer, she sees her legs taper into a slender trunk, and in place of her feet are gnarled, twisted roots. She lifts her face to the invisible sun. Her long golden hair is the colour of autumn leaves. And as you look more closely, you realise that her head is actually covered with tendrils and vines sprouting brilliant yellow leaves. Each glimmers with the essence of an entire soul. She gives you a beatific smile. As you look on, the leaves slowly fall from her head and settle at her roots. It should be beatific, not beatific. Anyway, they melt into the path beneath her, and almost immediately new leaves sprout in the place of the old. She reaches towards you, she's still smiling as roots spring from her fingertips. Her outstretched arms bar the path. Come, graft your soul to the Golden Grove. Kill her too. You swing at her, trying to knock her arm away from you. Yet as your blow connects, you feel her skin grow rigid and cold. Her outstretched arm petrifies, and as stone bark overtakes her flesh, you can only look on in horror. Her feet are rooted in place, but she twists and writhes trying to flee her own dying limb. The petrification reaches her shoulder and spreads down her body, freezing it in a painful arc. It keeps up her neck, then she throws her face skyward like a drowning swimmer. The greyness covers her face. What the fuck was that dog got to? Freezing her gasp in stone. Now that she's still and lifeless, you continue past her. Only the golden leaves in her head remain untouched as you watch they fall one by one to the path below. The shrivel as the shimmering essence fades from them. A voice echoes along the road, barely more than a whisper in the breeze. Return them to the wheel. You lift the gaze to see the skull gate ahead of you on the path. The candles of Tir Evron wink through the open mouth. So I've only done one of the gods' visions so far. I can go down the. I can go down to see fucking what's her face now, Theos and Woodaka. That's it. I can go down and see them now if I wanted to, but I want to complete all the quests that are left. That includes the birdie one, which I'm going to look up when I end the episode. I'm just going to quickly look up and find out where the birds are, and that way I can just easily just go do that out of the way. Then complete Galawain's one, complete the fucking Remagan's one. I'm going to go grab.
Your own
Stop right
father
there.
sold you to the Brotherhood?
He hated me anyway. I was glad to be gone. The Dukes are my parents now. The Republics, my children.
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
Right, a Phantom
You're in the
Soldier.
wrong city, Inquisitor. Did you think you wouldn't be recognized here in your old home? I've seen your trials with my own eyes.
I've seen your light pyres with good people tied to them. People I'd known many a year. He seizes you by the throat. Your airy titans. Well, a ruler imagined you cannot tell. They deserve your confession. He raises the point of his sword, holding it a hair's breadth from your eye.
Suros, what are you doing?
Startled, the soldier releases you immediately and turns to face the speaker. A woman in a plain wool tunic, fully a head shorter than he, but somehow seems to tower over him. You have seen this woman's face before, but from afar, bloodied and burned as she lay stretched across an iron wheel. At that moment, it is only marked with concern.
An assassin sent by the Inquisition, my lady, daring to approach our camp.
If he is so poor an assassin as to approach an armed guard in daylight, I should have nothing to fear. I would hear what this man has to say. She stares him down until he can no longer face her. He turns away sour-faced, watching you through sidelong glances, his knuckles white around the palm of his sword.
Surely this is some trick of my mind. I did not expect to see you again.
I just wanted to see you. I've come to help you anyway. I'm not lying to her. Grand Inquisitor Phalos ex Arcanon dispatched me here to spy on you. Let's just be honest with her. Let's see where this goes, because this can really fuck. Am I changing history here? This is the question, because when I was watching the playthrough, the question came up: is how is Phalos wanting your soul? Why does Phalos want your soul to try and change history, to alter time? And here's the question: is because in the White March, I had the option to change the man's past. Like, I could change the man's past in the White March. So does the Watcher's soul actually have the power to alter history by watching the visions of history? Can the Watcher, through watching people's visions of history, actually alter it? Does the Watcher have the power to do that? Let's just say Grand Inquisitor Phalos ex Arcanon smash me here to spy on you. Are things as desperate as that over there? I'd never have known. I hope your next assignment is more stimulating. Listening to my lectures is dull work for a spy. She takes it quite calmly. I hope your next assignment is more stimulating. My lectures are quite dull. I hope there might be another reason, but you are here and that's good enough on its own. Whatever your reasons, I missed you over all these years. Having you here now at a time when I'm surrounded by strangers is a wonderful gift. I would like for you to
stay here in our camp as my guest.
No longer able to
Lady
remain.
Yvara, I beg of you. This is an Inquisitor. This is a desperate attempt on your life. The only way it can succeed is if you allow it to.
This is a missionary, same as I was. Taught the wrong things as I was. If I can't have faith in one man's ability to reason, once he knows the truth, what hope do we have?
My lady, he admits being a spy.
That should make him less of a threat, wouldn't you agree? I have nothing to hide. All I see here is an opportunity to persuade someone who could help us. We have many former missionaries here. They are our most loyal, our most helpful. Many have died for us. These are not people we should be turning away. And if the Inquisition wants my life, they can have it. But they know as well as I do that my cause will not die with me. Come, we have much to talk about.
Yeah. Right, so anyway,